Hello YouTubers and SSG followers. I'm recording my 10 charging procedure. Okay, for the first timers I suppose I should stay following. On this side you're seeing the ampere meter of my charging battery, and this is my voltmeter of my charging battery. It's 11.88. My charging battery is 12 volt 5 amp hour battery, and the same battery is on the other side, primary battery. And the equipment, measurement equipment, it's milliampere for my primary battery and voltage of my primary battery. So fully charged primary battery 12.65. This is actually fun because you saw my previous videos another voltage of my primary battery, but this time I was lucky, I got a real good charge of my primary battery. I always charge my primary battery for 20 hours, and sometimes I get 12.30, and sometimes like this is a pretty good voltage. And okay, what about charging battery? My charging battery currently sitting on 11.88. It's pretty good resting voltage. This battery was previously discharged to the voltage level. Let me cook to my procedure table. This was discharged to moment. Bear with me, I have only one hand. 11.74. Okay, so once again, after I charge this battery by the Bedini circuit, I discharge this battery to 11.74, and after some time resting voltage of my charging battery is 11.88. So you saw my equipment, measurement equipment, and I start my circuit. You hear this noise. This is due to my higher resistance. I repeat, in this mode my system shouldn't run. So what I do, I just disconnect one of my cables to the primary battery, then reconnect, and I'm golden. I can just move the wheel and my system start to work. Okay, let me zoom the part where my battery is charging. Well, you see here, I have here 15 milliamps current to my charging battery. The voltage of my charging battery is immediately had increasing because because of the type of the impulses which I get from the SSG circuit. And on the side where my primary battery is sitting, I have here I hope you can see the numbers. It's pretty. Should I? Okay, so you see here on my side where my primary battery hook up voltage level like 12.58 and current 32-33, which I spent to run the system. But most interesting part is actually here. I started my video with a voltage level of 11.88 on my charging side, on my charging battery, and here you clearly see the voltage increase after I started the charging procedure. Once again, if you are new, if you're watching my video for the first time, the question is how I charge my battery. Well, it's pretty simple. I charge my battery by generating short but very high potential impulses. These impulses I can only see on my oscilloscope, and I can see like 14 high spikes impulses. It's very short but very fast. It's short and fast impulses, and this is actually, I hope it's a radiant which Bellini speak of. And question number 2, is this over unity system? The answer is no. Why it's no? Because I use normal current to charge the primary battery, and I have my costs for charging this primary battery, but nevertheless in my last charging procedures I always get the second battery fully charged, almost fully charged, I should tell, not fully charged though, I mean almost fully charged. So, and I write the values of my charging battery before each charge and discharge. So after the 20 charging procedure, I will release to the public my table for further evaluation. But anyway, this is not for me currently right important. Which is important, I see funny things like after each discharge procedure, and discharge procedure happens separately. Separately it means my charging battery is not connected to any of the circuitry, it's connected to one standard device. The standard device, I mean, this like cheap solar charging device, solar panel charging device. The solar panel charging device has protection for undercharge and overcharge. So when I put load to this device and the battery which I want to discharge, I have pretty good results. And why I don't show you this in my videos, because this is videos where I show you that you see here the voltage, how it increasing, and you clearly see the battery is charging by the impulses. I don't want to say the word current because it's not right. I mean, you see, I get pretty low current. It's like 14 milliamps, so it's pretty low current. But anyway, my charging battery is charging. Not the procedure. Charging procedure happens not rapid. It's a long process, but you see clearly it's almost 12 volt. But once again, funny things with measurement equipment. The voltage which you see, it's a temporary voltage. It is important to get to the voltage level at least 12.65, and if your battery resting, means the voltage not changing, then it means that you completely charge the battery. What I actually can say you right now, you saw my previous videos. Sometimes my primary battery showing a very not fully charged battery voltage. It's like 12.14 volts and 12.30 volts. And what I mean by that, a completely charged battery by the book, it's 12.65 volts. So I think my charging procedure for my conventional battery is not always complete, but anyway, I got some result, and this is a result rather positive than negative, because each time when I discharge the battery, I look at the values before, and I mean the values of the discharged battery, and this, what I actually want to tell you. After each discharge of my charging battery, I have resting voltage, and this resting voltage always higher than it was in the past. Let me just give you some values, and if you have a pen, just write them down and you will see how the battery develops. So I want to tell you resting voltage of my charging battery. This is okay, this is this side. So I doing currently 10 charging procedure, so it means I should tell you 9 resting voltage of my previous discharge tests. So let's start. Discharge procedure, resting voltage 11.29. Discharge procedure number 2, voltage level, resting voltage level 11.48. Discharge procedure number 3, 11.64. Discharge number 4, voltage level 11.66. Discharge number 5, voltage level 11.34. Discharge procedure number 6, 11.71. Discharge procedure number 8, 11.68. Discharge procedure number 9, 11.88. So it's at some point the resting voltage wasn't higher, but anyway, in the long run the voltage of the battery is still increasing after each discharge procedure. So just think about this, and of course if you want to build the system yourself, think about this radiant impulses. Why I'm telling you about this? Because in my circuit I use, I will say, almost I use the resistance of 2k ohm, almost 2k ohm. I have here on this paper 2003 ohm. It's like 2.3 ohm, k ohm, sorry. So I mean for the SSG circuit it's almost at the maximum of the possible recommended use. It's a maximum of the recommended resistance which you can use in the SSG circuit. But at higher resistance the SSG circuit I think works efficient. I mean, for my case it works very efficient. And what I mean by that, I mean I have spinning of the wheel, I have a lot of spikes which my circuit generated, like 14, 13 spikes, radiant spikes. But if you would like to see the spikes, just look at my first videos which I have on my channel and just look at them and tell you what you think. But for me what's important is that the charging procedure is very efficient one with the BDNE type of circuitry. And of course what I would like to say once again, currently my coil is working in repulsion mode. It means the coil is wind up clockwise, and if you wind up the coil clockwise, your coil working in the repulsion mode. But BDNE people who are actually working with BDNE, John BDNE, they are advised to build a coil with a counterclockwise winding. That will give you attraction mode, and it's more powerful than repulsion mode. And my best guess why I'm slowly but hopefully with positive results, I mean the positive rate of my charging procedure is not rapid. It's slow. It's progress sometimes slower than I expect, but I see still progress. So you can hear the progress. And so what I want to tell you, if you build such type of circuitry, build your coil with counterclockwise winding, and you should get even better results than I. But this is just random thought, and what I want to show you on this side, this is my showing of the primary battery. Very nice voltage, 12.55 sorry 55 and 27 milliamps. So I'm pretty have a good feeling this time. I will probably even better charge my charging battery. So primary battery can be a pain in the ass too. Why? Just simple story. You saw my previous videos, you saw the voltage, the starting voltage of my primary battery. It was like 12.34, so it was a sign that my primary battery wasn't fully charged. But I charged it fully. I know it because I always track charging of my primary battery. It's very important to know how much time and energy you spend to charge a primary battery. But I found this that's just very interesting, and I probably put it better to the light. Oh, not so good. And sometimes problem with the light. You should think out of the box. I have here the light system. The light system totally used only by my batteries which I have here. I do not use any additional current to power the lighting in my cellar. So pretty amazing. But anyway, back to my topic. You see the current which I get to my charging battery, and normally with a conventional charger you need at least 200 milliamps or 300 milliamps to charge a 20-hour charge to charge a battery to full capacity. But with my system I use less current, but anyway you see the voltage increase. And of course many people say that voltage means nothing if you cannot show us the power. So on this point, and I just tell you, I can show you when I charge it and discharge the battery 20 times. Then interesting story begins. And interesting story, I mean what I will do next when I done with charging and discharge procedure. I will take a conventional charging device, hook up this conventional charging device to the inverter, and the inverter I will hook up to the charging battery which I charged by the Bedini, and then I will try to charge my primary battery. This is all will happen separately from the Bedini circuit, of course. Why I do it? Because Bedini told us that you cannot mix the energies with each socket. You need some sort of transformation to do it right, and I hope that I'm doing this right. But anyway, still interesting experiment sort. And yeah, what I should tell you about the charging and discharging of the batteries. Interesting stories is with the sulfatation. This battery actually do not show any sign of the white stuff, and this is, I suppose, to the fact that I use not conventional charging process. But on this side I started to see some white places on the plates. It's actually not good. I mean sulfatation stops the movement of the ions or electrons. I'm not chemist, sorry if I'm saying you something wrong, but actually sulfatation is very bad for the battery, and this happens actually by not fully charging the battery or by discharging the battery to the to the lowest voltage. So I suppose next time in the future I will build or buy circuitry which just give me the protection for the undercharging my primary battery, because I spent energy. Always think you gain energy, you spend energy, you have losses, but question is how much my losses, what can I do with this type of energy? And trust me, the charged battery by the Bedini can work any better as primary battery and is in better shape than primary battery. And this is just which I observe as experimenter. So if somebody rich guys want to use such system to power the house, well, I say you will spend a lot of money to research and development, but when you have some skilled people, I cannot sign myself as very skillful people, but anyway, for the people who are wishing to live off the grid, maybe this is a best path to achieve a living off the grid. But you will have some costs when you will use such system, and even liquid in the battery must be filled at some point. So just to say you it's working, and it's actually charging pretty well for me. It's like 12.04 with a little few current on the charging side. On the other side I have here 12.54 on primary battery voltage and 26, 29, 28 on the primary battery. So take it as a best advice. If you want to research this field, let's just start with the SSJ circuitry, because it's pretty simple. You will take, if you're not skillful enough, maybe you take much more time, but I will just tell you that this is actually working and I'm charging the battery. So what do you want to get from such beginner project? Better I cannot say. So, and I charging you my charging procedure with one reason, just give you some sort of the I will say sign, or just some I want to show you behavior of the charging battery, in how rapid the behavior of the battery is changing when it's charged by the non-conventional means, by the Bedini circuit. So just take notice, the charging of the battery happens, and it happens not rapidly, it happens slowly but steady. So, and you look, and probably this is big mistake by many people who are doing this for the first time. They're actually thinking that you spinning of the wheel is very important, but I will tell you, you do not wish to spin the wheel very fast. You just need to spin the wheel fast enough to observe this. Okay, I'm breaking myself. You need to spin the wheel, of course, but the wheel movement, how fast it will be, you should be observe when your wheel is spinning. You should observe the picture on the oscilloscope, and without oscilloscope it's pretty hard to measure right. So just take my advice and you will spend less time for doing this. Just buy or rent such a cheap oscilloscope, hook up to the transistor, Bateson collector of the transistor, and just look at the radiant spikes. And your goal is to get as much as possible of the impulses when the wheel is spinning, because if you go higher than 2k ohm resistance, then your wheel stop to move and you will get self-oscillation mode of the Bedini. And I'm currently at the position to say that when you get the self-oscillation mode, this is actually not right mode to run this system. That means that you should always run the system when the wheel is spinning and when you get more than 12 or 14 impulses, or like this. So it's possible to charge with the Bedini, you see this, and I wish you all the best. I hope the system will change the future. Okay, that's all for me. Bye bye.